Hi, I'm Karen. I'm originally from upstate New York.
And I'm Jen, hailing from Arkansas.
Together, we decided as old spinster ladies to pool our resources and move to Northern Maine on the Canadian border.
Join us on our single, child-free adventures while we navigate our new life with our two furry feline overlords.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I do apologize for being late again, but in order to prevent that in the future, we are going to start posting on Monday and Wednesdays instead of Sunday and Wednesdays. Again, I have Karen today. It's our Chaos Day, and today we are talking about actually purchasing a home in Northern Maine and what we went through.
It was a journey. So as you guys know, our rent had skyrocketed $400 a month. It's not attainable for anybody to suddenly have an increase like that usually. And on top of it, anything around the country right now, I think it's what, $2,000 for a one bedroom on average.
Yeah,
That's
easy.
absurd. When you're single, you're living on one income. People who are married have the two incomes. It's a little bit easier to hit. So when you're single, it's hard to pay that much on your own unless you have a really good job, and those are few and far between these days. So we had, obviously, as you know, shared resources or whatever. So we were already used to living with each other and said, let's just go ahead and get a house.
Absolutely. And another thing we wanted to do is come back to New England. This is where we were both most comfortable and felt like it was home. The only problem with coming back to New England is they are very, very proud of their dirt. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, where we lived outside in Norwood, outside Boston before in Norwood, I think the average house was 750,000.
No, when I was looking, when we were trying to purchase a house, it was closer to $1 million for what we were looking for, and it has come down some, but we're in a recession, so.
Yeah, it's just astronomical. And even the two of us together would not have been able to afford the mortgage on that.
No.
So we started looking further out. And then it got to be really further out.
Yes, I think we spoke about this before. She actually brought me this house, and one of my main worries was it is so far north. I wasn't expecting to be this far north and on the Canadian border.
But the the thing was we could afford it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the most affordable houses, and it fit what we needed, which for two single kid-free women sounds obnoxious.
Yeah.
But when we both work from home, we needed certain things. Like we needed a bedroom for each of us. We needed a guest bedroom because we do live in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot of hotels around here. So people would have to stay with us, family and friends. She needed an office. I needed an office. So it sounds absurd, and I realize that, but we really needed at least a 3-2 to function, or at least 3-1.5, because neither one of us ever wants to be caught without a bathroom.
No, absolutely not. I'm a firm believer of at least two bathrooms, no matter what, and at least one on each floor if it's a two-story. So we found this house. It is absolutely gorgeous. And what was so funny was we weren't even going to need to repaint the walls. Everything was set up, good to go, and perfect for us. So we pulled the trigger on it.
So the house is actually a 1936 two-floor, four-bedroom, two-bath house. Now, that sounds like a lot for two
Yeah.
people. It's 1,800 square feet, and we do have a pool in the back. And the price, you couldn't pass up.
No, anywhere else in New England, especially farther south, this would have been $1 million all day long.
hmm But because we are so far out of the area, this is a mill town.
Yeah.
And it's just not a highly populated area. There's not a lot of people, going into bid wars for these types of
No,
houses.
absolutely not. And if you want to see a tour of the house, just let us know down in the comments and we can absolutely do that for you.
Yeah. So the process was laborious to say the least.
Yeah, I tried to walk Karen through the paperwork and kind of give her warning about what the home buying process was going to be like. I actually used to work in the real estate industry as a loan closer, so I was really trying to prepare her, but nothing, absolutely nothing, honestly prepared me or her for her reaction to the closing costs.
So I will preface this by saying my credit score was not the best. I did not have an 800. I didn't even have a 700 credit score. And yet I was able to purchase this house.
Mhm.
I am a first time home buyer. So I was able to get an FHA mortgage, which means you only need 3% down for the house. Now, I was able to put that 3% down, but I also got the owners to cover the closing costs. So if you think you cannot afford a house or you can't buy a house, you would be mistaken. I got actually $5,000 from the state of Maine, which went to my closing costs. And then I only had to pay a few $1,000s more. I'm talking under $5,000 to buy the house. That was it. I literally bought a house with under $5,000 with a credit. My credit number was in the six, I think it was like 650 at the time.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't 700, I know that.
if you think you can't afford to buy a house, please look into it. It's amazing what states are offering, what they can help you with, depending on where you buy. But as we just spoke about, we are really far out there, and that's why we could afford a home within our budget.
Absolutely. And I also put up some of the closing
Mhm.
cost because we were going into this together.
Mhm.
It's not like it was all on Karen.
Now, let's discuss those closing costs.
Sorry.
I have never seen a bigger crook than the mortgage industry right now.
Now, please remember, I just said that I spent time trying to warn her what she was going to experience.
There's warning, and then there's seeing the freaking theft. I can't even think of a better word for it.
I literally peed my pants while she was going through this the first time. It was hilarious, but it's also sad at the same
It
time.
is really sad.
Yeah.
I can understand some of these costs when it was maybe back in the 80s before we had everything on computers. Now, all of this shit is digital. I mean,
Okay.
loan origination fee.
All right, hold on just a second. Before you start going over this, I'm not going to put this up on the screen just because it is our actual closing disclosure, but that's where we're getting these numbers from.
Yeah. So my closing costs, you hear closing costs all the time. They're in the thousands, da da da. And I'm like, wow, that must be a lot of work. And da da. Yeah, no. So the loan origination fee is $1,600. Do you know what that is? Them entering my info into the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Must be nice. I'd like to get paid $1,600 for fucking half an hour work. And then we have a processing fee. So that's what? Them saying yes or no?
No, it's putting it through the system and yeah. Okay.
Didn't I just pay that in the 1,600? Yeah, okay, there's that. And then there's an appraisal fee, which this says 325, but I was pretty sure I paid 800, I thought.
They put 325 for it, then we paid 800 out of pocket. Yeah.
800. Hey, $325. The guy was here for an hour. Can I get paid $325 an hour? Come on. And then you have, oh, credit report, whatever. They pay whatever. And then you have something called mortgage insurance premium. That was the rudest awakening known to man.
Okay. Now, if you don't know what that is most of the time it's called PMI. If you put less than 20% down on a home, you are charged this extra insurance as a part of a guarantee that you're going to pay your mortgage.
And if you don't pay your mortgage, they have that insurance and it will pay them back for the house. So even if you default on your mortgage, they get paid for the house, but you still owe the money.
Yes.
So it benefits the bank if you default on a loan in the beginning because they'll get paid for the house, still get the money out of you somehow, and then they can resell the house.
There's a little bit more that goes into it, but
I worked collections at a bank way back in the 90s. I know what goes into foreclosing houses, and it does take time, but it doesn't take $200,000 worth of time.
that's true.
Oh, and let's see what other things we have here. You do have to pay for your homeowner's insurance up front for a year, which I was like,
That's
okay,
fair.
that's
Yeah.
fine. Property taxes, absolutely understanding, not a problem. Recording fees.
Okay, now the state and the county charge that.
I understand that. Last I knew, all they had to do was, oh, look at the info. Chink, have a nice day. Which was even better because we have lived here a year at this point and they still sent my tax bill to the old owner. So they didn't even hit the right fucking button.
Now you can see why I peed my pants.
Dude, seriously, like, what the hell? It's just like the biggest racket known to man. I mean, how much does what? Literally, this is services borrower did shop for, which I didn't know I could choose a title company.
I told
This was not explained to me by the
I-
mortgage guy.
I told you could.
He did not say that that was an option.
Yeah, but I told you it was.
Yeah, that's great, but he didn't like that.
Well, he can kiss our ass. You have the right to choose your entire team. That is one thing that you need to stand on business on. You have the right to choose your entire real estate team. That is protected under federal law.
Okay, well, either way, closing protection letter fee, $25 for a letter that they print out.
Yes.
Lender's title insurance.
Yes. That's so that if the old owners had any liens pop up, you were protected from that. So, yeah.
Mail processing. Want to take a guess?
I forgot how much that is.
$175 to put it in an envelope. Oh, and the title settlement or closing fee, $700. I paid over like $1,500 for them to do that. What?
Now, wait a second. Is there the notary fee in there? Because that should be $150.
Oh.
So that probably was in part of that $700. Now, what I used to do was I would walk people through these final documents as a loan closer. I was that notary, and I did get paid $150 per closing.
And as I said, I was lucky because the owners of this house decided to cover my closing costs so that I could purchase it and put it into the loan, into the mortgage.
Yeah.
So technically, I didn't have to pay for them up front. They are rolled into my mortgage and I'm paying for them now. Excuse me, but those closing costs to hit buttons were $12,000.
Yes, and in all honesty, $12,000 is a very reasonable amount when it comes to. Hold on. Hold on.
Was any of that reasonable?
Okay, maybe reasonable wasn't the right word. It is very common to have $10,000 to $15,000 in closing costs depending on the state. Some states are much higher, like California and New York are deadly when it comes to those freaking closing costs.
And actually, when, as we said before, we had looked in York, Pennsylvania, actually, and those closing costs were $15,000 for a house that was less expensive.
Less expensive and in a worse area.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, and she was surprised, even though I did try to prepare her. She knew I did this for a living.
There's one thing to know.
Yeah.
You said it was going to be 15 to 20. I was like, yeah, that sounds everything I've read online, everything I've done. Honestly, not a problem. When it's broken out to the stupidity level of that is the biggest racket in America. $1,700 to press a button on a computer. You're out of your gourd.
So this is the adventures of buying a house with Karen. She's still. We have owned this house for a year, and she's still salty. And we have every right to be salty because it's a lot.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid that it costs that much to literally have somebody approve it and sign a document and put it in the system. It is stupid at that point. Anywho,
Welcome to my world. Now, when it comes to buying a house, you're gonna have that reaction, which is fair. Don't get me wrong. But then you have to worry about actually moving into the house.
oh,
That was an adventure. We won't go over that saga because we both have a little bit of PTSD from that. However, we are two women living alone, and while yes, we are in one of the safest states in the union, hands down, we're still two women living alone. So
yeah,
security is
paramount.
it is paramount. It's something that you have to take absolutely seriously.
Okay, so unfortunately, in this time and in this era, single women are not safe. We all know it. We all have either been violated or possibly violated or know somebody. It's a given, guys. You are a single woman, even if you are sharing a house with another woman. Facts are facts. It's very easy to be overpowered by a man with upper body strength more than what we have. You could be the world's biggest weightlifter for a female, and you can still be in danger.
Absolutely.
Make sure you check the neighborhood that you're looking to buy in for crime rates and so forth.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. She actually made fun of, not really made fun of me, but kind of needled me because that was the first thing I always checked.
Mhm.
What are the crime rates in the area? What type of crime? How much crime? Everything. I wanted to know it down to the minute detail because I wanted to set us up for success.
But what we have done is one of the first things we did when we moved in is we put up doorbell cameras. We have them on two different doors, and then we have another one out facing the pool with lights on it because we put that out more for we don't want anybody to drown in the pool, like sneak in and drown.
Right.
So we want to know something's happened right there.
Yeah.
But we have both videos. Um, Jen has a
Yes, my father, as a housewarming gift, did gift me a firearm. I have grown up with firearms. I know how to use it. I know how to perform proper gun safety. If you are afraid of a firearm, do not own one. Period. End
there
of
are
story.
there are stun guns. There are other methods and other things you can utilize. Pepper spray, things of that nature. I did not grow up with guns. I did not grow up in that environment or that climate. We never had them at our house. I never had them around growing up. So that's one of the things we agree to disagree on.
Yeah, and the thing is I grew up with it. We had a gun in every house, in every room of the house. They were always loaded. So I grew up from itty bitty all the way up, gun safety, age appropriate, but it was always a tool, not a toy. And that is what is lost in translation. It is absolutely a tool, not a toy. And I do practice gun safety here as well.
The first time I want to say I shot a gun was when you took me to the shooting range in Massachusetts, and I played idiot savant, it seems. We shot a 22, 45, and an AK.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
outshot her.
Yes, she did. One, the guy said the sight was off. And two, he would not leave me the hell alone after I got in my stance. My father, a sharpshooter and army sniper, taught me how to do.
My eyes don't work together, and I still hit the bullseye. Just saying.
I did after he shut up.
Anywho,
I finally just looked at him. He's like, "You've done this before, haven't you?" I'm like, "Yes."
you couldn't tell by the accent.
Sorry, I get annoyed.
See, I get annoyed at closing costs. You get annoyed at stupid people trying to tell you how to shoot a gun.
That's true.
But that is one of the things we agree to disagree on. I am not comfortable with a gun. Like I said, I've shot it once, and that was that shooting range. Out of sight, out of mind. Just I understand she has it, why she has it, and I'm not completely upset because, as I said, we're two single women living together.
Yeah, but I don't brandish it. I don't.
No.
I do. It's low key, and honestly, I wouldn't have even said anything. But we were talking about female safety. But if you are at all nervous, that is not something to play with.
No.
You have other options. You have jack slaps. You have batons. You
The
have.
heck is a jack slap?
It is. It's almost like a baton, but it's got kind of this ball on it. Trust me, if it hits you, you're gonna know it.
Ow.
Yeah. But you've got batons, you've got stun guns, you've got pepper spray. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on. Another thing I have done almost all my life is martial arts. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I did train. My father trained me, and then I also took Krav Maga classes as well. So understand self defense. Know you're not going to have to use it every day, but it's all men until it's no men. Period.
Yep, exactly. Especially with all the news lately about that lovely website on how to, your wife and Epstein
Yeah.
files are a thing where these men, these little girls,
Yeah.
it's there, guys. Just please protect yourself and do what you have to do to stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing that we made sure of is the police department's less than a quarter of a mile away.
That does help.
The former chief of police isn't that far away either. So we
Mhm.
have, we do have protection. It is one of the things that I do not play with at all.
Okay, so now that we've had that public service announcement,
Yeah. I appreciate you guys putting up with us and two late videos. Again, we're changing the schedule to Monday and Wednesday. Okay.
because I'm lazy on the weekends, I call it.
And it gives me a little bit more time to edit the videos and make sure that we have a good product out for you. Again, Karen's going to be here for the chaos on Mondays. Wednesdays are my normal cooking videos. And we do hope that you join us for our life in Maine and the adventure that we're going to be on. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you would like to see future videos, again, the chaos is real. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell.
My shirt says it all.
That's very true. And what do we always say?
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree. See you later. Bye.